Let us talk about the position that everybody is the most intrigued by. At least I am the most intrigued by, and that is wide receiver. This wide receiver class is so good, it's almost not fair. And to completely miss out on this class because our wide receiver room is pretty much set just seems like highway robbery. All right. It seems like highway robbery. So all of us are always looking at these great players, and you can see right here the amount of wide receivers that fall in the top 100 is just insanity. All right. It's just insanity how many there are. There are, like, this is similar to the Amon-Ra St. Brown wide receiver draft class, where it's really, really good. All right. If you feel like our trenches are set, I have no problem with using a pick on a wide receiver. But we have to look at, again, who did we bring in? Who did we talk to? So in our top 30 visits, we visited with Roman Wilson. And by the way, Brad Holmes has even said, like, he's not afraid to go get a slot wide receiver. Like, he's not afraid to get a slot wide receiver. You can have multiple of those guys. Roman Wilson can play on the outside. St. Brown can play on the outside. Just because they're phenomenal in the slot doesn't mean they can't play in other places. I always say Roman Wilson is like St. Brown light. He's faster. He's not quite as physical. But he is a player that in this offense could do some serious damage. We also had visits at the combine, formal visits with Xavier Legette, Brian Thomas Jr., Devontae Walker, and Anthony Gould. Okay, I want to talk about a few of these guys. I think that Brian Thomas Jr. is going to be gone by the time we pick. Now, here's the interesting thing. All right. And this, I saw this on Twitter. And by the way, if you don't follow us yet on Twitter, follow us. I call it Twitter. I hate calling it X because it's impossible to say I'm on X or something like that without sounding like I do drugs. Okay. So I like to call it Twitter. And X is a dumb name, but that's just me. Maybe I'm just old and I don't like change. So it was very interesting. Xavier Legette came out and just flat out said, if the Panthers, if he's still available, the Panthers are picking him at 33 with the very first pick of the second round. He said it. My question is, does this put any pressure on people, aka the Lions, to draft him in the first round? Or, hold on for this, does it give the Lions an opportunity to be a trade back partner with other teams? Maybe even the Panthers, right? So, like, a lot of teams that might want to pop ahead to get not Xavier Worthy, but to get Xavier Legette. Maybe. I mean, that could be really helpful for us. This guy is an absolute stud linebacker, 6'1", 221 pounds. He's a running back that plays wide receiver. And I think he could end up being an absolute monster in the NFL, similar to Deebo Samuel. All right, his contested catch rate is through the roof. He's physical. His yards after catch are unbelievable. I would have no problem with taking him with pick 29. All right, now, I also would say if Adonai Mitchell, oh my goodness, if he falls to us. Now, he's had an interesting career, but when you look at the intangibles, when you look at what he is, he has all the makings of a ridiculous wide receiver. And I think if you put him with the right quarterback in the right system, he can be unbelievable. I would honestly say I love Brian Thomas Jr., and he's rising up draft boards. He had a really good offense, and he had Jaden Daniels throwing to him. All right. Adonai Mitchell, I'm telling you right now, if put in the right situation, could have a better NFL career than Brian Thomas. All right. There is a ton of talent right here. So if the Lions want to go offensive lineman or defensive lineman and then want to package a couple picks to come back up and get another wide receiver, go for it. But what if they wait till that 61? What if they wait till that, 61? Sorry, my watch was talking to me there for a second. If we wait until that like 61 or 73rd pick, there's all these guys available. All right, Jermaine Burton. All right, we're going to have a good info on if his struggles were because of him or situation or what. You're going to have Devontae Walker that might be available. Jalen Polk. Like, there's a lot of good wide receivers that will still be available that could be complementary outside wide receivers. that I think would be really, really helpful. But what would you like? Would you be happy if the Lions went Mitchell with the 29th pick? Would you be happy if they went Lad McConkey? Would you be happy if they went Jamison Williams 2.0 and Xavier Worthy? All right. Xavier Legette, Ricky Pearsall, Keon Coleman, like these just stud wide receivers. Would you be happy with that, or do you want to wait? Would you be happy if they traded up to get like a Brian Thomas Jr.? I wouldn't like that because I think there's too many good wide receivers available. Still will be available when we pick at 29. It's just a loaded class, and most of them are late first round, second round wide receivers. They're all right there. And so I would love to see what we do and who we're able to pick up. There's just good wide receivers all over